From the moment he touched down in the UK, on this, his first international trip, President Biden was laying out his central message.
We're going to make it clear that the United States is back and democracies of the world are standing together to tackle the toughest challenges and the issues that matter most to our future. That we're committed to leading with strength, defending our values, and delivering for our people.
At the G7 meeting in Cornwall, a range of issues were discussed, from COVID-19 to climate change. But what was most noticeable was the tone after 4 years of tweets and tantrums. In Brussels, at NATO and at the EU, other nations were appreciative they no longer had to second-guess what their most powerful ally would do next.
Well, Mr. President, dear Joe, we are so pleased to welcome you in Brussels. You are back in Brussels, and America is back on the global scene.
The scenes of unity are so very different from the Trump era and will have been watched very closely in Moscow and Beijing.
No one has gotten more satisfaction out of all of the disharmony that Donald Trump has sowed in the United States than the leaders of Russia and China. So I think that they kind of view this as a precarious point. They do need to be mindful about kind of democratic regimes standing up to some of their kind of increasingly authoritarian impulses.
If President Putin is unnerved, he wasn't showing it when he met the US leader for nearly 4 hours of talks. There were no concrete outcomes from what both sides said was a constructive meeting, just a commitment to try and work together in the future. Among the US's closest allies here in the UK and in Europe, there's a real sense of relief. After the Trump years, there's now predictability and stability in the transatlantic alliance. Of course, there are differences among the allies about how to deal with Russia and China, but those differences will now be dealt with diplomatically and away from the cameras. James Bayes, Al Jazeera, London.